Welcome back to Athletic Everyday. I've got a sprint and jumping workout today for you with a few accessories at the end. Left this one until after my shift today. So my shift today at work was 12 till 8. So I didn't really get back to do this and start it until about 8:45. But luckily, this is some months and we still got a good amount of daylight and the days are only getting longer. So I don't want to use that as an excuse to make the workouts, always late at night. I don't really like pushing them right up until the end of the day because, I'm recording this voice note about 10 to 11 now, and it's nice to have a few more hours before midnight before I get to sleep, just to optimize the sleep a little bit better and help my recovery. So tomorrow I am going to get my workout in nice and early, and you guys can hold me accountable to that. I am going to get the workout in, but I definitely want to get it in earlier tomorrow so that I can get a nice early night going into Wednesday. For the most part, this workout went really well. I figured that because I spent the whole day, being active at work, I actually did a spin class before this workout, 45-minute spin class, burning 500 calories, doing a lot of effort. I don't just stand around and watch the people do the spin class. I will do the spin class with all of the participants in the class. That way, when they see me doing the effort, then they'll want to join in and, work hard as well. But obviously, I was thinking that would make this workout really bad. I feel like I would have spent all my energy in that class, but it's just working different energy systems. Spin, for the most part, is a cardiovascular effort. You might dip into a little bit of lactate threshold, maybe some aerobic threshold work, depending on how fast you decide to push yourself. But I actually found that doing that class, I probably ended up doing this class about an hour before this workout. It felt like I didn't really have to do that much warming up for these sprints. Maybe that's just anecdotal. I didn't actually time these sprints, but they felt snappy, they felt poppy, and they felt explosive. So that was good. And then going into the dunks, all of these were on 9.6. The program said to do lower rim dunks, but the rim was already set at 9'6", sorry. And I really couldn't be bothered to lower it, so I just thought I'd just go and get in a few dunks, and these felt really good. I honestly didn't think I'd be jumping this high. I got a few really good dunks, and what was interesting about these dunks is I wasn't missing them low, I was missing them high. Like, I was getting above the rim and just missing the ball. The two-handers, maybe not so much, but for the most part, these, the one-handers, I even found that when I was doing these just 2-3 step approaches, I was jumping just as high as when I do a full approach. And I wasn't missing like side rimming. I wasn't getting stuffed by the rim. I wasn't getting rim stuffed. I was literally getting the ball above the rim and then hitting it off the back of the rim, which is, if there's a way to miss a dunk, that's probably the best way to miss. And then after the dunks, I probably ended up doing something in the region of 20, maybe 25 dunks, or 25, jumping attempts. I did some Nordics, which is starting to feel really good now. I'm getting some higher volume on these. I found that when you try and push your hips down into the bench on the concentric portion of this motion, it makes getting up a lot easier because it gives you a little bit of momentum because you can sort of swing your torso up a little bit. Helps you to have a little bit more leverage with those hamstrings. So I guess I've just been doing it wrong a little bit before, but yeah, I guess you're using a little bit of glutes when you do that as well, but it does help to get those hamstrings firing in the second portion. Once you come off the bench, it gets the hamstrings firing as well. Then I experimented with a new way to do hip flexor raises with what I could only describe as an old person's assisted walking stroller, or whatever the hell you would call this thing. Found it near a skip. I figured it'd be good to do dips on. I don't know if you guys remember previously, I mentioned in a video before, I have this rig which I could use to do dips, but can you see how it's too low to the floor for me to get all the way down? So body weight, it would work, but if I wanted to have weights strapped and they were hanging below my knees, they would just bang on the floor and wouldn't get full range of motion. So that's why I've been doing ring dips. But this thing, funnily enough, works really, really well for stability on hip flexor raises. It helps me keep my balance, and it helps me to get that full stretch at the back on the hip flexor, so I can get some eccentric loading on the hip flexor with the band. But then also I'm able to work through that full range of motion. I do think a cable is more effective because there's even tension throughout the range of motion, but for needs must, cheap equipment, this is really good. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.